Let me tell you about the daytimes, the night times, the fight times, and the flight times, the good times, the bad times, the glad times, the sad times, the true times, the two times, the old times, the new times, the fun times, and the dumb times of Sometimes Jones.
Okay, so we're going to talk about two homeless people. One is Sometimes Jones, and he's a 15-year-old runaway. And the other homeless guy is Sagittarius Deus. He's an old guy, and he lives on the beach in Venice, California, and he's a panhandler. He tells and makes up and improvises stories, rants, and poems. Poems he spells P-O-M-E-S, for anywhere from $1 to $2.99. But first we're going to talk about Sometimes Jones. Blood, guts, skin, and bones. And all he was just a thief, but the things he stole were beyond belief. He stole the statues from the park. He stole the cross from Joan of Arc. Stole the crown off of King Tut's head, curse your God, and rob you dead. Born in Chicago on Avenue B, learned how to steal on his granddaddy's knee. And his daddy sent a message from Cell Block C, said, if you get caught, kid, don't depend on me. Steal the pennies off a dead man's eyes, swear to the truth on a stack of lies. And he's all dressed up in his disguise. Jeans, high tops, and big brown eyes. Steal your woman and your guitar. Steal your stool at your favorite bar. 8-ball, straight ball, spot you 10, one hand blindfold, do it again. He knows the moves and he moves real quick. Keeps a real loose tool, shoots a cool pool stick. Steals the wheels off of police cars. Lives on women and candy bars. Liar, cheater, lock the feeder, break your pants and steal your Peter. He practiced hard, watched his health, got so good he stole from himself. Deals from the bottom with his back to the wall, throws his money to the wind and the finger to your wall. Wheels by day and he steals by night. He's the alley cat shadow and the lady's delight. Hawked his grandma, sold her brace. Get the gold out of your grinning face. Gonna get into heaven, don't bother to lock it. Gonna talk to the Lord and pick his pocket. A real living legend is Sometimes Jones. Blood, guts, skin, and bones. All he was just a thief, but the things he stole were beyond belief. And his real name was Lawrence Bartholomew Pittsburgh. And he never got along with his father, so on his 15th birthday, he ran away from home to San Francisco. And he lived on Market Street here with all the other runaways and the bikers and the pimps and the hookers and the winos and the weirdos and the geeks and the freaks and the geezers and the junkies and the funkies and the lonesome losers. And he changed his name to Sometimes Jones. And he was kind of a tall, gawky kid for his age, you know. He had big ears and a big nose, and he seemed stupid, but actually he was very smart. He was just waiting to make his move, see? And he had a really good black hat. Baseball cap, black baseball cap. No markings on it at all, you know, with the thing, and he always wore it back like that. He was also a really good pickpocket, one of the best pickpockets on Market Street. His rep was that if Sometimes Jones could get close enough to touch you, your wallet was gone. So I'll give you an example of exactly how good Sometimes Jones was at his craft. One time the President of the United States was up for re-election. It happens, I don't know why. So here comes the President's, parade. They're having a big, re-election campaign parade down Market Street here, and here comes the President's limo. The back door opens up, and the President gets out, and he starts shaking hands with all the people, standing along the curb. And just through luck and timing, Sometimes Jones got to shake the hand of the President of the United States of America. So that night, back at his pad, Sometimes Jones went through the President's wallet. Now, in the wallet, he found some stamps, some pictures of home, valid driver's license, and, wait a minute, there's some money here, yeah, that's good. And this strange white plastic credit card, it said 2 for 1. And on the back said the agreement. Be it known that whosoever a watch shall be prime mover in perpetuity throughout the known and or unknown universe, but not limited thereto, shall grant to the bearer of this card one other life. Registered card number 45455454545.63. Interesting. So he put it in his back pocket, and he felt very good the rest of the day. And he didn't mind losing all the President's money in a very close game of 9-ball with his best friend Sal. because he figured, what the hell? He's got another life right in his back pocket, you know? So that night he's taking a shortcut, his usual shortcut home through this dark alley. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, sometimes Jones is held up by a desperate man with a gun. And the desperate man with a gun says, your money or your life. And sometimes Jones is thinking, you know, very interesting. So he, you know, very slowly reaches down into his back pocket, lets the guy see that, and he pulls out that credit card, that white credit card, and he hands it to the desperate man with a gun, who takes it, looks at it, reads it, hands it back and said, that's bullshit. What else you got? And sometimes Jones goes, I don't have anything else. I lost all my money in a very close game of 9-ball with my best friend Sal. So the desperate man with a gun said, okay, give me a hat. And sometimes Jones goes, well, wait a minute. No, not this hat. See, this is a very important hat. See, I stole this from a very important person. And the cops chased me for blocks. I worked very hard to steal this hat. If you want a hat like this, why don't you go steal your own? And the desperate man with a gun said, it's exactly what I'm doing, putz. So he grabs it, and sometimes Jones grabs it back, and there's this big tussle, and bang, the gun goes off. Sometimes Jones grabs his chest, he looks at his hand, and it's covered with this red, thick, warm blood, and as he sinks to his knees, he sees the desperate man with a gun running out of the alley with his good black hat. As sometimes Jones lays dying in a pool of his own blood in this dark alley in the middle of the night, all of a sudden, the alley fills with light and a guardian angel appears, all dressed in white. Well, not exactly all dressed in white. It's kind of a weird guardian angel. It was a punk guardian angel. The guy was about 18. He had white jeans, but they were kind of dirty. He had no T-shirt on at all, just bare chest. He got tattoos over here. He had an earring, you know, punk hair. It was purple, you know. And he had wings, but he was molting, so there's feathers all over the place. So, you know, but he stood over Jones and he says, if you wish, you may exchange your death at this time for your 2-for-1 card. You may choose to expire, keep the card as a souvenir, and have your name placed in the Who's Who in History book, placed there posthumously. What do you want to do? I have other people. So sometimes Jones, now he didn't want to die, see, so with his last bit of strength, he just in the back pocket, and he hands the angel the card, and he stands up in perfect health. No blood, no wound, no nothing. Guardian angel takes the card, puts it in his back pocket, said, we've honored our agreement, you're on your own, good luck. And as the angel turns to leave, sometimes Jones picks his pocket and gets the card back. So now the angel leaves, suspecting nothing. So now having a card, knowing the secret of the card, and knowing it worked, gave Jones some options, right? So now he's taking any dare, any risk, any chance, you know. He's got the card in his back pocket, see? So now he's starting to push the envelope. He's, getting daring. He starts off kind of easy. He's picking cops' pockets, okay, fine. But then he's starting to branch out. He's starting to maybe do a couple of, breaking and enterings, beanies, and he's climbing fire escapes up to maybe the 6th floor, 7th floor, breaking in. And he's starting to push the envelope, and he's getting some money, he's very successful and starting to get some bling, starting to get some girls and women interested, and he's getting a rep now, and he's pushing the envelope with the women, and all of a sudden, one day, he's shot in the back by a jealous husband. As sometimes Jones lay dying in a pool of his own blood, suddenly there's a light, and the guardian angel appears all dressed in white. The guardian angel stands up. See, the same guardian angel with the punk, no T-shirt. He's got another tattoo on his neck now. He's got a nose ring now, He's got one over here. He's got an eyebrow ring, and he's still molting, okay, fine, But he stands over Jones. He says, if you wish, you may exchange your death at this. Haven't we met before? Sometimes I don't know. I just, the guy says, no, I never forget a face. Now, I don't tell me. Are you an actor? Have I seen you on television? What did you do? I recognize you from there. No, I don't know. I just, please. I'm dying, please. He said, no, wait a minute. Oh, right, my cousin's boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend. You're that guy, right? No, I don't know, please. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Takes the card, stands up in perfect health. No blood, no wound, no nothing. Angel puts back pocket, says, you're on your own, we wanted our agreement, good luck, turns to leave. Sometimes Jones picks his pocket, gets the card back, puts it in his back pocket, but this time the angel picks Jones' pocket, and this time Jones leaves without suspecting a thing. So now Jones, thinking he still has that card, he's still, pushing the envelope. He's, taking chances, any dare, anything, any risk. He's pushing the envelope, more popular, more money, more bling, more girls. And he's getting a reputation now. He's got a rep, this crazy guy. And he starts to spread from neighborhood to neighborhood, and finally this gang hears about this crazy guy, this dude. He'll take any dare. He'll steal anything. He'll do anything. And he's very successful, so they figure they want him in the gang, This is an alpha gang. It's pretty tough. But they bring him in, and in 2 weeks, just because he's so crazy and so daring, sometimes Jones is elected their leader. Well, now Jones got a posse. So now he's not afraid of anything. I mean, they're stealing cars with people still in them. I mean, they're holding up police stations. I mean, he just won't stop, and on and on. I mean, he's not only is he breaking and entering and going up fire escapes, he's tight-roping across the roof. He's going he's pole vaulting from one roof to another. It doesn't matter. He's breaking into the zoo one afternoon and one night. He stole a rhinoceros. He got away with it. Had to return it the next day because you can't feed it, you can't keep it. But he got away with it. And of course, the gang, he's not afraid of the gang because, like I say, they're alphas. They're pretty heavy. This is a cool gang, So every once in a while, they'll challenge him, challenge his alpha status. But sometimes Jones always counter-challenges them with a fight to the death because he figured he can't lose because he had that card until one day he looked for it, just, make sure he had it, and he can't find it. And it's not in his back pocket. He checked the closet. It's not in his coat pockets. It's not anywhere. It's not in the cushions of the couch. It's not under the chair. It's not in the kitchen drawer. It's not in the freezer. It's not in the refrigerator. It's not in the cat box. It's not in his sock drawer. It's not anywhere. He can't find it. He figures he lost it, or somebody stole it. The gang. So sometimes Jones starts to become very cautious now, and he starts to make mistakes. So he becomes paranoid. So he becomes self-righteous, and he starts to treat the gang bad. So they become confused. So he becomes angry. So they become obstinate. So he becomes vindictive. So they just get fed up and challenge him to a fight to the death. Well, sometimes Jones tries to joke his way out of it, and tries to make accusations, make excuses. But the gang isn't buying any of it. So when sometimes Jones sees that they see the fear in his eyes, he pulls a gun. And his best friend Sal tries to calm him down and talk some sense into him. Terry, another gang member, just sneaks around behind Jones and shoots him in the back. As sometimes Jones lay dying in a pool of his own blood in this basement hideout, blood all over the place, he figures, well, he's dying, he might as well confess. And he's going, see, guys, I'm not who you think I am. I just thought I could live forever, see, because I could. I was living forever because I had that card. See, it was a magic credit card, and then the angel, the punk, right? No T-shirt at all. But he could keep me alive, and I could live forever, and he had the wings, and somebody stole it. You guys stole it, didn't you? You stole it. Now, the gang had no idea what the hell he's talking about. His guardian angel, and he could live forever, and punk, and what? And we stole what? As a matter of fact, they figure, they're kind of feeling sorry for him. He's laying there in a pool of blood, he's dying, and they figure this is just the babblings of a dying Jones. So, as a matter of fact, Terry, the guy who shot him in the back, felt so sorry for him, he actually kneels down and he cradles Jones' head in his lap, while he's dying. Sometimes Jones just keeps on babbling, See, I'm just a pickpocket. I'm just a pickpocket. Not great, but not bad. And Terry just looks into Jones' dying eyes and he says, Jonesy, what you are is an asshole. And Jones, with his last bit of strength, he just raises his hand up and he offers Terry his wallet back. Not bad for a dying asshole, huh? Now, the gang thinks this is really funny, man. The guy's dying. He's still picking pockets. That Jones. What a card. Oh, man. So, but Jones, he says, oh, no, guys, wait. You don't understand. Terry's right. I am an asshole. And as Jones speaks those words, a flash of light and a guardian angel appears. The same guardian angel, only this time he's got clean jeans, no t-shirt, but he's got another tattoo over here. But he's got, his wings are grown in now. He's got a beautiful set of wings on. You know, his hair is now, I think, green now. But other than that, he's looking pretty cool. And the gang just sees this out of nowhere and freaks, and they just book out of there. And sometimes Jones' head hits the cold cement floor with this dull bunk as Terry just stands up and books out after him. And the angel stands over Jones and says, no, Jones, you're not an asshole. What you are is you're just a poor fool. And here's how it works. Ultimate power is 2 lives. Cats have 9, but poor fools live forever. But I lost my card. See, I lost the card or somebody stole it. I lost the card. I can't even keep that. This doesn't work. And the angel says, no, Jones, you never had a card. We don't give cards to poor fools. They lose them. We know this. They're fools, but we're not. So you can live forever as long as you don't use that knowledge for fame or fortune. Oh, and by the way, everything that you got while you had the president's card, that's been confiscated because we were just fucking with you. But anyway, good luck. Yeah, but since you have nothing, I tell you what. Here's $10, and here's your good black hat back. And he's gone again. So sometimes Jones goes back to the pool hall that day, very happy in the knowledge that ultimate power only has 2 lives. Cats have 9, but poor fools live forever. So it's much better to be a poor fool, right? It's just a lot harder, that's all. I mean, you know, a lot of sweat equity goes into it. But anyway, he gets back to the pool hall. Now, with the $10, he buys a candy bar for $2. And the rest of the money, he loses in a very close game of 9-ball with his best friend Sal. The end. This is Emmett. Emmett Sagittarius Deus. Like I say, he lives on the boardwalk, and he kind of looks like this, you know. He's kind of scraggly. He's crazy. He's a really crazy guy. He's about, I don't know, you can't really tell how old he is. Maybe he's 65, 70, 75, who knows. Maybe he's just 23 and had a hard life, you know. But he's pretty old. He's pretty old. And he just looks kind of old. And he makes up these, like I say, these poems and stories and stuff like that. But one day I asked him, you know, why he was so crazy. How come? You know, what happened? And he just said, because what happened was, you know, I saved the almost perfect Doreen from being kidnapped and taken hostage by Bloody Blood, or the most blue-eyed Cyclops Viking ogre biker, and taken back to hell froze over on the back of Black Bestie, Amazing Flying Iron, Firebird, Hogger, Speed, and Power, unless I intervened, which I did. Now, I'm just saying it's all going to hell in a handbag. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it's all going to hell in a handbag, you know, and I ain't no cross-eyed, lily-livered son of a bitch in a garbage can, neither, no, son, not me. I ain't no gun-crazed, marauding, hip-shooting, smart-ass, yellow-bellied, sap-sucking, sidewinding, cowardly cowboy either, no, sir. I'm the president of Texas and a great-grandson of the great Coronado of Spain and Africa. I am wise, and I ride alone. There is a little light inside of you. Burn it out. Okay, you know, but basically I'm a people person, you know. They call me Slappy Wacko. I'm a friend of Mickey Finn. I chew secondhand tobacco when I spits into the wind. I am sick and I am dying of 1,000 ugly sores. I'm the guy that gave it VD to the dirty rotten whores. I changed my mind. My back is sprung. I got halitosis in just one lung. I got big feet, so you know I'm hung. I'll do it to a camel or the camel's dung. Do it to a bee and I won't get stung because I loves everybody that I walks among. Now, knowledge that's stolen will never be wrote. You walk on the water, but you don't burn the boat. And I drink rye whiskey for this hole in my throat. See? Now, my dad stood bolt upright on his deathbed and he yelled, positions are taken, opinions are held, but all the blood bled just belongs to the felled. Belongs to the what, my dear mother said? If you mean that part about blood being bled, my dad sighed as he died. It belongs to the dead. See, questions are asked and answers are given. Nature don't lie, except men and women. My thoughts blow like leaves that are hurricane driven. Like life is a grape, its visions are stained. Swallow it whole till nothing remains. Christ, the thoughts that I think weigh more than my brains. Like all art's imitation, all seeing is blind. Can't lose what you got, can't keep what you find. It's either the species or tricks of the mind. My dad's eyes was real wild, but his mind was real free. And he sang me this song when he sat on my knee. Claire de luna sola table, la bicyclette mont, 3/4 of a quarter is just about a quart. Oh, good and bad is just two things of thousands you could be, like first or fast or famous or a triple amputee. Word is out, nothing sure, life is doubt and debt's the cure. Fools die young and jokes grow old. Guilt ain't money, but it's good as gold. You've been for the boss on the 51st floor. 10-minute break, he's back for more. The truth is what's agreed upon when the witness dies and the facts are gone. Highways are for blues and dues, the streets are for the fleet, alleys are for deeds in need to get back on your feet. Hope you're happy, call me if you're not. I'll give you what you need if you give me what you got. So lie and cheat and beat the law, beat your meat and beat your maw. Love is just a fairy tale, dreams are full of germs, reality is really jail and heaven's full of worms. So that costs a quarter, okay? That costs a quarter. So everybody in this room right now owes me a quarter or forget what you just heard, okay? But see, I have a problem. I have a problem, and I tell you what my problem is. You ever hear of Beckett? You know, little Sammy Beckett. Yeah, little Sammy Beckett. So you see my problem? He writes plays about me. Oh yeah, moi. Yeah, he writes plays about me. What about Hunchback of Notre Dame? It's about beggars, right? Yeah, I know there's a hunchback in there somewhere. But it's about beggars, the king of beggars, right? Yeah. Check it out. Check it out. It's about beggars. So you see my problem. You see my problem. What about Threepenny Opera? It's about beggars. Beggars and his pimp, this killer pimp, right? They did it on Broadway, you know, got a Tony. They sing and they dance. See my problem? You know, what about Ratso Rizzo? Beggar? Academy Award. Academy Award. What about Charlie Little Tramp fucking Chaplin? See my problem is, see, I'm not real. I'm a symbol. Fucking artist, see? But then, see, you know, I shit in dumpsters, I smell bad, you know, I block the sidewalk, I chase away business, I go through your garbage, I'm scary. So then you know my problem is? I'm too real. Fucking reality. You know, I'm too real, I'm not real. I'm too real, I'm not real. I'm too real, I'm not real, you know? You know, my problem is, I can't find that fine line. That's my problem, you know? I can't find that fine line. See, I'm a storyteller. You know, I'm a poet. I rearrange reality for a fee, is what I do, you know? I create clarity for cash. Basically, I fuck with the truth for money, basically. That's what I do, you know, as opposed to lawyers who fuck with the facts for cash. Huh, yeah. But, you know, I do have this problem, and one of the problems I noticed is, and maybe you noticed this too, have you noticed that it's getting crowded out here? Have you noticed that, you know, out here? See, there's a lot of newbies, all these new homeless people. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, all the, you know, families and people, and I don't know where the hell they're coming from, but it's very crowded. And you know, when one of these newbies, you know, become homeless, you know, their minds get blown away because they're completely unprepared for this. And it's unnecessary. Should not happen. So here's what I'd like to do, and here's what I'm going to do. I'd like to give you just a couple of gemstones and rocks of homeless wisdom to put on the corners of the blankets of your minds so that when you do become homeless, your mind doesn't get blown away, okay? Yeah, all right, so yeah. So here's what it is. When you become homeless, you're gonna find out that you're gonna miss certain things. Doorknobs. You don't have a doorknob. Sans doorknob. So if you are sans doorknob, this is a red flag. No walls. No walls, no doorknobs, no table, no bathroom. If you are missing these 4 key items, chances are you're homeless. Oh yeah, my friend. Now, is it scary? Is it weird? No, it's just another tricky day in people land. Yeah, see? Because you got to remember this one rule. And this one rule, keep it in mind. I mean, homelessness is not a situation. And homelessness is not a state of mind. No, homelessness is a job. What is the job of the homeless? Get through today, find a place to sleep tonight. That's it. Easy peasy. Now, what is the specs of the job? The specs of the job are 3 consecutive 8-hour shifts, no time off, no pay, nobody's in charge, no rules except if there are, they change every 40 feet, no bathroom, people with homes do not like you, and there's no place else to go. But all you got to do is just get through today and find a place to sleep tonight, and you're home free. Completely home free. Okay? Now, you might ask yourself this question. Why do people with homes, or as I like to call them, the homelessless, why do the homelessless not like me, the homeless? It's very simple. Normal people have doorknobs. So ergo, people without doorknobs are lazy, drunk pariahs. Right? Now, to be fair and balanced, let's look at it from the homelessless citizen's point of view. Okay, they're watching, they're looking at you, and what they're seeing is you're just sitting around or walking around all day long, you're not sweating the rent, and you're not contributing. Only rich people can do that, okay? See, so if you're, imitating a rich person without the possession of a doorknob, you're obviously a lying cheat. But don't take it personal. See, don't take it personal. Use it to your advantage. If you are homeless or you're hungry, if you're homeless and hungry, and you in your heart of hearts believe that you're not a lying cheat, become one. Go with the flow. Because remember, lying and cheating is the best defense against stupidity and greed. Oh, you're going to be greedy? Okay, I'm going to be a lying cheat. Oh, you're going to be stupid and greedy. Okay, then I'm going to be a lying, cheating, secretive motherfucker, or I'm going to get drunk, throw up, and shit myself. Either one. I don't know which I'm going to do, but you're going to be the last to know. Okay, so now here's a love poem. I'll give you a love poem. Okay. My first old lady wore a satin dress. What the second one wore was anyone's guess. The third one never got mad unless. The fourth came over to play some chess. The fifth played more. The sixth played less. The seventh's sole purpose was to really impress. The eighth didn't talk. She just digressed. Ninth, I loved, I must confess. 10th, ate nothing but watercress. 11th meant no when she said yes. 12th would damn whatever I blessed. 13th left my place a mess. But I didn't care and I didn't depress. Moved in with a lady by the old Loch Ness. I liked her a lot. Her name was Bess. Write her for money, but I lost the address. 14th said she couldn't grow. 15th split for Mexico. 16th ran with rodeo. 17th came later, just didn't show. 18th followed wherever I go. 19th was warm and sweet and slow. 20th turned tricks at 10 a throw. 21st was married. 22nd was flow. Came up to my waist on tippy toe. 23rd wouldn't wash. 24th wouldn't sew. 25th ran off with this guy named Joe. 26th now lives in Kokomo. 27th I guess I'll never know, but I kind of think she's pretty low. She stole my TV, all my dough, and a solid gold ring off my big toe. 28th gave head in every state. 29th got mad, broke every plate. 30th got drunk, stayed out late. 31st just blew with the winds of fate. 32nd, really great. 33rd could love. 34th could hate. 35th jumped off at a Golden Gate. 36th did speed and never ate. 37th smoked grass and just gained weight. 38th ran off with my ex-roommate. 39th turned out to be jailbait. 40th started with a nice clean slate, but it all just started to dissipate. When a mother moved in with the stuff in a crate, the effect was bad, the cause innate. I was fucking too much. I couldn't create. So that's another quarter right there. So that's 50 cents, right? Or forget what you just heard. I'm not kidding, It's a business. Okay, so I tell you what. Here's one for a nickel. Come on, a nickel. Here's a nickel. Love poem for a nickel. A little shorty one. Short. A little short. Okay, so this is haiku. A love haiku for a nickel. You can't go wrong. Okay, here it is. Okay. Love, the hard part's over. Now comes the hard part. So that's it. There you go. Right there. Okay? A nickel. Come on. But, be that as it may, a lot of people, call me a lazy bum. They call me a lazy bum. I know why they call me a lazy bum. I prefer pathological bum, but people call me a lazy bum. Now, I know why they call me a lazy bum. Because they see these certified alcoholics standing on a corner, begging for spare change every day, day after day, same spot, same people, and they're begging, and they take that spare change, and they don't buy food, clothing, or shelter. You know this, and I know this, and they know that you know that, they know that you know that. But they don't care. They go down to the 7-Eleven with this spare change, and they buy nachos, they buy liquor, they go get drugs, and then they drink the liquor, they eat the nachos, they do the drugs, they get sick, they fall down, they throw up, they break their nose, they sleep in it, they get up the next day, they go back to the same corner, and they beg for the same people 8 to 10 hours a day after day, from the same people who hate, fear, or ignore them, day after day, take the spare change, go back to the 7-Eleven, nachos, liquor, drugs, do, drink, eat, fall, break, throw, sleep, get up the next day, back to the same corner, beg from the same people who hate, fear, ignore them, day after day after day. And you call this guy lazy? That guy's working. Are you kidding? He's putting in the hours. Come on, will you? Lazy bum my ass. Come on, you know. I'd like to see you try it. You know, you go crying home the first day after 3 hours. Ooh, nobody likes me, you know. He's putting in the hours. Come on, you know. So anyway, you know, but see, I had an epiphany. I had my first epiphany, which cleared that right up. I tell you what, I had my first epiphany, I tell you, right after I met Jonathan. Now, I met Jonathan right after I had my first epiphany, see? And then I met Jonathan, see? Jonathan sleeps next to me in, he sleeps a couple of cardboard refrigerator cartons down from me. There's Jonathan, Dirty Murph, Mother Earth, me, and Mel. You know, and that's us. We sleep down by the beach. And remember Coca-Cola? You remember that? Coca-Cola. Yeah, back in the day, Coca-Cola changed their formula. Remember that back in the day? Worst business decision Coca-Cola ever made. Remember that back in the day? That was Jonathan's idea. Yeah. Lost the golden parachute, everything, the Lexus, the whole thing out the window. But other than that, the guy's a marketing genius. Oh, Jonathan is terrific. Oh, everything I learned from Jonathan, you know. Tell you how I met him. I was doing my morning bullshits. You do your morning bullshits, right? Don't you? You gotta do your morning bullshits. You don't do your morning bullshits? What's the matter with you? Jeez, you gotta do your morning bullshits. I tell you, it's very simple. It's good for you. Yeah, so here, I'll tell you how to do it. It's very simple. You go to an intersection. Go to an intersection, preferably with a traffic light. An intersection with a traffic light is a sweet spot for doing your morning bullshits. Yeah, okay. So what you do is, you go to you get up early in the morning. You go to the intersection, you stand on the corner, see, and you point at something. Could be anything, you know, just go with your feeling. Point, but point at something. You got to point at something, see? And you just point to it, and you go, bullshit. That's it. Yeah, that's all. That's all. You go. See, and you do it. You know, you just point. You know, you go, yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. Ooh. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Hey, you, no, him, you, bullshit. See? So you do that for about an hour, okay? Opens up your chakras. Yeah, it does. Try it. Oh, so there I am. I'm standing on the corner. My chakras are wide open. I turn around, and here's this little guy. It's Jonathan. It's a little bald guy. He's an old guy. The little bald guy, he's a short guy. He's got on very thick glasses like Coca-Cola bottle bottoms, that kind of thing. And he's got this ratty bathrobe, you know. He's dressed in pajamas. He's got these ratty bunny slippers. And he looks at me and he tells me that I'm living in the richest city, in the richest country, in the richest time in history of people wearing clean white underwear. And then he looks me straight in the eye and he goes, do wow, swing and bow wow. See, and then he pretends to disappear right before my very eyes. But actually he just backs away and he hides behind a parked car, you know. But I go along with it. You know. Oh, where'd the little guy go? He disappeared right before my very eyes. Oh, where'd he go, you know? And while I'm doing this, see, a black and white pulls up and they bust me for illegal existence. Vagrancy my ass. They busted me for existing illegally. I'm an illegal exister. They charged me with imitating a rich person without possession of a doorknob. Come on, will you? You know, so they put me in the back in the cage there, the car, and they handcuffed me for yelling. Come on, lemonade, what are you kidding? And they take me downtown to county. So I'm sitting in the back seat. I'm handcuffed, but I'm not just sitting there. I'm thinking. Now, what am I thinking? I'm thinking, do wow, swing and bow wow. That's what I'm thinking. See, yeah, okay. So now they get me down to county. So while this police officer, who I have never been formally introduced to, is looking up my asshole, I have my first epiphany. So he's looking up my asshole, and I'm having this epiphanistic thought. And my epiphanistic thought is, eye of the beholder. I am not a lazy bum. I am an independent, entrepreneurial beggar saint. See that? Much better. Paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. You just switch the paradigm. Very simple. It's all in here. See? So now I'm an independent, entrepreneurial beggar saint. Now, what is the job of the independent, entrepreneurial beggar saint? What is the job of the beggar? The job of the beggar is the management of guilt and pity for profit. Very simple. Yeah. Now, my partner is the church. My silent partner is the church. The church's job is to instill guilt. My job is to leverage it. Very simple. Now, don't put down guilt. You know, do not put down guilt. Guilt is very important. Guilt saves lives. Oh, yeah, because you can't depend on compassion. Come on. You depend on compassion, you're going to be found dead on a steam grate. I mean, come on. You ever hear compassion burnout? What I'm talking about. Compassion burnout. Do you know why Adam and Eve were kicked out of the Garden of Eden? Compassion burnout. Oh, yeah, come on. Okay, that's it. No more free lunch. Stop fooling around. Put on some clothes and get a job and get out of here. Move it, move it. Compassion burnout, I'm telling you. Compassion burnout. Oh, guilt, you know, guilt. So thank God for guilt. That's what I say. Thank God for guilt. The thing about guilt is, first of all, it's profitable. Guilt management I'm talking about. The management of guilt is one of the most successful business ventures ever. No overhead, no employees, no inventory. It's all profit. It's all profit. For instance, like India. Let's check India out. In India, which is, you know, the home country. That's it. Ground zero for begging. And they call it begging. It's a very honored profession, begging. Here they call it panhandling. If you take more than 7 showers a week, it's called seeking venture capital. Now, from India, we get the 4 Ds and Ps of begging. The 4 Ds and Ps, very important. Deformity, dementia, disease, disfigurement, and prosthetics. The 4 Ds and Ps. Right. True suffering and fake limbs. The double negative that makes the golden positive right there. So in India, now you got to think about it. In India, they pass good begging spots on from generation to generation. They cut their fingers off and the fingers of their kids. And it's not considered cruelty. It's considered attention to detail, dedication to the craft. See, I'm a professional. To be a professional beggar, you got to look like an amateur. In begging, success depends on failure. The beggar is not allowed to show profit or have excess. Beggar is not allowed to show profit or have excess. A cash-rich, profit-driven CEO is considered a successful businessman. A cash-rich, profit-driven beggar is considered a lazy fraud. If I'm begging outdoors, wear rags, and drive a Porsche, I'm a charlatan. If I'm begging indoors, wear a hairpiece, and drive a Porsche, I'm an evangelist. Location, location, location. Now, it's not all downside. Let me tell you that. Being homeless is not all downside. Here's the upside. Here's the good part, okay? The homeless have certain unalienable rights and privileges that the general public and the private citizen are not privy to or even allowed to use or employ. Exemplia gratia, laying unconscious in the middle of the sidewalk. Now, if you are, say, you know, a homeless citizen, a general public person, now you're laying in the middle of a sidewalk unconscious, you wouldn't last 2 seconds. Here comes a 911, here comes a cop, here comes an ambulance, here comes a fire truck, here comes the emergency vehicle, here comes a helper, they throw you in the back, they shut the doors, they drive you away. You don't know where they're taking you. They tell you they're taking you to a hospital, you don't know. I've never seen these people again. Ever. Los disappearos. But if you're homeless and you're laying unconscious in the middle of the sidewalk, people walk around you. Respect. Respect, yes, is a God-given right and a privilege. And you got it if you're homeless. Respect, of course. Now, I use it, to grab a nap in the middle, out in the open when nobody is going to set me on fire or rob me, as much. And if I die, it's a statement. So it's a win-win, It's a win-win. Yeah, you got to think of it that way. Now, I'd just like to mention in closing here, proper dress. Let's talk about homeless proper dress, okay? Proper dress, if you're homeless, is non-essential. If you got them, wear them. Whatever. You're not going for a job interview. You got the job interview. The job is find a place to sleep tonight and get through today. Eye of the tiger, folks. Come on, get with it. So you use what you got. You got rags, wear them. You got a wheelchair, use it. You got a dog that's blind in one eye, bring it. If that doesn't work, show them an open foot wound with live maggots. Sell the sizzle. You got to sell the sizzle, folks, okay? Sell the sizzle. You got to get the citizen helper's attention. You got to get the citizen, because remember who you're up against. Who's your competition? Dancing with the Stars and starving kids in Africa with flies in their face. Okay? This is not chopped liver, folks. This is survival. Focus, okay? Come on. Okay, here's a pop quiz. Quick pop quiz. Who's going to get the help? A one-eyed, one-legged old man. B, a starving kid in Africa with flies in its face. Or C, homeless you. Now, if a starving kid in Africa with flies in its face can't get a cup of milk, who the fuck are you? Some schmuck without a doorknob? Boo fucking who. Come on, will you? So what works? What works? Rags, a wheelchair, a one-eyed dog, tenacity, brass balls, bullshit, guilt, hand puppets, jokes, missing limbs, prosthetics, prostitution, hand-lettered signs, all street legal. Good luck out there. So here's another Sometimes Jones story. He's a little older now. He's about 25, I guess. So Sometimes Jones was very forlorn, and he was kind of sad. He had fallen in love, and he had just broken up with his girlfriend. So he was madly in love with her. He fell in love with an older woman. I think she was 27. Her name was Venus Triantafilopoulos. A little overweight, but he loved her, and she was really nice, except she threw him over. So he's feeling very bad. He took a walk out into the country, out in Marin County, out in the boonies. So there's no fences, no people around, and he was feeling pretty down on himself. He's trying to think about, how to get a life, because that's obviously why she broke up with him. He didn't have a life, So he's trying to figure out how to get a life. The second thing he was trying to think about was, how to not die stupid. That was a hard one. He didn't know how to do that. And then there was the third one, which was how to not be hungry. Because he was hungry, he hadn't eaten in about 3 days because of his emotional state, but also things weren't going well in the pickpocketing division. And so he was kind of hard up for cash, so he was kind of hungry. And just as he was thinking that thought, he sees across this meadow in this field, not too far off, he sees these wild radishes are growing. He figures, okay, let's go get that. So he looks around. Now, there's no cars around. As he was walking, there was cars. Every once in a while, a car would go by, or somebody on a bicycle would go by, maybe pass a jogger or whatever. But right now, there was nobody around, no fences, and it's just meadow and this field. So he steps off the road, and he's walking through this meadow, heading towards the field there. And all of a sudden, he feels something weird with his feet, and he looks down, and he's just stepped into a quicksand bog. And he's just a little too far away from the edge, and he's in a quicksand bog, and he's starting to sink. And it's up to his ankles now. It's very hard to pull his feet out, and he's kind of scared, frankly. So he starts to call for help to the people who he sees on the road every once in a while. It's not too far out, a couple of 100 yards, but, if he yells loud enough. So he starts to yell for help. Some people don't see him or hear him. Some people see him or hear him, but think it's a trick. Some people see him and hear him and just don't want to help. Fuck him. Some people would like to help, but not right now. Some people see him and hear him, but think it serves him right. And some people see him and hear him, but think it would be good for his character if he got out all by himself. So now he's up to his waist, and people are passing him by, and he's not liking the situation at all. As a matter of fact, he's getting kind of angry at himself for letting himself get into the situation, but he's not liking these people who are passing him even more. So now he's yelling for help, but he's also cursing them as he's yelling. You know, so going, help me, you stupid shit for brains, you asshole, fuck you, you know, help me, bastard, you son of a, you know, and he's just going on, and you stupid fuck, hey, come on, you asshole, come on. Well, okay, so now it's up to here, and you kind of think, well, maybe this is counterproductive, you know, all of a sudden, it's up to here, he's going to die here. This is, you know, he's starting to think, whoa, this is getting serious, and as soon as he thinks that, here comes a good Samaritan down the road, and this good Samaritan sees sometimes Jones, hears him, sees that he's in quicksand up to his shoulders now. So the good Samaritan stops what he's doing, stops where he's going, and the good Samaritan takes up a collection. So in about, in 10 minutes, he collects $5,000. So this guy's good. You know, just from bike riders, joggers, and a car every once in a while. $5,000. This guy's working his ass off. Okay, so now he's also, not only is he a good Samaritan, but he's a fair Samaritan. So the first thing he does is he take $1,000 for himself, sweat equity. You know, got to pay himself. Pay yourself first. You know, so he pays himself first, but he's honest as well as good. So he takes the other $4,000, he puts it in his leather wallet, this pouch, and he throws it to sometimes Jones in the quicksand box. It lands right by his ear, and then he goes on to do more good deeds. You know, just leave. So there he is. So now there's this thing here, and he goes, whoa, you know, okay, now it's up to his kind of up to here, and he's thinking, wait a minute, this is getting really serious. I may die here. I may die here. This is getting really weird. And just as he's thinking that thought, here comes here comes a thief running down the road from this. And the thief is running this way, away from something or towards something, whatever. He's running this. And he looks down here, and here comes a rich man in a nylon jogging outfit. And the rich man in a nylon jogging outfit is coming this way. And the thief and the rich man pass each other right in front of Jones, right about here. So he calls to both of them at the same time. And he says, hey, if either one of you guys help me, I'll give you this $4,000 in this pouch right by my ear. And he points to it with his ear, and he points with his nose, you know. And so the thief immediately runs down to the edge of the quicksand bog. And he says, hey, throw me the $4,000. I went to town. I'll buy a ladder. I'll get some rope. I'll get some friends. We'll come back. We'll pull you out of there in no time. So sometimes Jones says, hey, bro, you know, I'm unfocused, not stupid, so fuck you, you know. So the thief goes, what the hell? And he just walks away, and he sits on this little grassy mound, you know, this little hill over there to watch what's going to happen next. Well, the next thing that happens is a rich man comes down to the edge of the bog, and he says, hey, throw me the $4,000, and I'll pull you out right now. As soon as I get that money in my hand, you're out the next second. I'll pull you out personally. Now, are you okay with that? So sometimes Jones says, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you pull me out, and then I'll hand you the $4,000 in person, okay? And the rich man goes, no, you see, wait a minute. You know, see, I'm rich for a reason, see? And I'm rich because I know a little more than the next guy. Not much, but just enough. And what I know about, because I can see into men's hearts. I don't think I can see into women's hearts, but I can see into men's hearts. And what I know is when men get safe and warm, their memory goes. So I'll tell you what, I'll pull you out as soon as I get that money in my hand. You're out the next second. I will personally pull you out. Now, I drive a hard bargain, but my word is my bond. Do we have an agreement? And sometimes Jones, who has no leverage whatsoever, you know, pulls out one hand, and he takes the thing, he takes the wallet, and he throws it up onto the hard ground. And as soon as that wallet lands on the firm ground, the thief runs over, and he grabs it, and he runs away. So the rich man just turns around and he starts going on his morning jog. He continues away, and sometimes Jones goes, hey, where you going? Where you going? And the rich man said, as soon as I had that money in my hand, I never got near it. I drive a hard bargain, but I stick to the agreement, and my word is my bond. But good luck with that, okay? And he starts to jog away, turns back and goes, chin up. And he's gone. So now sometimes Jones is getting really scared because now It's passing his chin, and sometimes Jones is spitting sand. He's spitting sand, and he thinks, oh my, whoa, this is, and just as he thinks, this is it, man, this is it, he's going to make peace with his God, even though he doesn't believe in it. Let's just not take any chances. Let's go for it. Here comes a priest. Here's a priest coming down the road, and this priest sees Jones, sees he's in dire trouble, and sees that Jones is just seconds away from the warm, soft breast of death. So the priest runs down to the edge of the quicksand bog, and he administers last rites. Ah, zabba, 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 zabba. And so just, hey, stop that, just pull me out. Just pull me out. And the priest says, hush, my son, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. And sometimes he says, hey, screw you and screw your Lord. And suddenly the sky goes dark and thunder claps and lightning flashes and the storm brews and wind blows dust and dry leaves into Jones' eyes and the priest's eyes, and fat raindrops start to plump into the dust, and the wind blows harder, and lightning and thunder cracks, and it starts to rain, and the priest runs back to the safety of his parish. And sometimes Jones just looks up at the sky and thinks, oh my God, this is it. And yes, it was, because a lightning bolt strikes a tree right by the bog, which falls across the bog. Jones grabs onto it, and he pulls himself up, and he balances along the trunk onto the hard, firm ground, and he looks up at the storm, and he thanks it, and he swears to the storm that he's going to kill the first person he sees for all those people who left him there to die in that bog. So he hides behind a boulder. And soon the storm passes, and here comes this man just walking down the road, you know, minding his own business, walking down the road. And sometimes Jones comes out behind him with a rock and smashes the rock against his head. He falls dead at his feet. About 20 minutes later, a cop car comes down the road, sees this dead body laying on the side of the road there. And then he looks over, and he sees sometimes Jones just sitting on this grassy mound over there, just still trying to figure out how to get those wild radishes from across the quicksand bog. So the cop goes over to sometimes Jones, you know, he says, pardon me, sir, do you know anything about that body laying over there? You know who killed him? And sometimes Jones just looks at the cop right in the eye and says, yeah, it was me. So the cop takes him into custody, puts him in the car, takes him downtown to City Hall, where the mayor deems sometimes Jones a hero, gives him the key to the city. There's a ticker tape parade that day, and that night, sometimes Jones appears on the Jay Letterman show. Why? Because that man laying there was the last earthly remains of J. Edgar Mad Dog Simpson, a cop-killing terrorist rapist wanted in 10 states by the FBI. Well, sometimes Jones is sitting on the couch there, and Jay says to sometimes Jones, well, sometimes Jones, exactly how did you capture this cop-killing terrorist rapist wanted in 10 states by the FBI? So sometimes Jones just takes a rock out of his pocket across the face, and he lies dead across his desk. Well, the audience riots. And there's this pandemonium. They set the building on fire, and it takes the cops and the fire department 3 days to calm down the whole city. And to this day, there's still thousands of people who don't understand why a real American hero would kill a late-night TV star. The end. Okay. That, by the way, that's the end of the show, but I'm going to do my encore right now. So here's the encore. Save yourself a lot of problems. So this is one of Emmett's fairy tales. He wrote a fairy tale. So this is Emmett's fairy tale. Okay, so once upon a time, all right, you ready for this here? Once upon a time, he lied to her and got her to come to his home, where he put her in a large mason jar, and he held her there against her will for 140 days and nights with nothing to eat but tapioca pudding and rocks. Except for Thursdays, when she got red rubies and delicious shepherd's pie that was always way too hot and never cooled down, no matter how hard or how long she blew on it. On October 15th, when he was sitting in his favorite chair in front of his favorite window, skipping through a screenplay his best friend had just finished, sipping brandy and watching the sun go down over the sea, she finally figured out how to get out of the mason jar, snuck upstairs with a shard of glass from the shattered jar, and from behind slit his sainted throat so swift, silent, and deft he didn't even notice. Her joy was exceeding, no begging, no pleading, no fear of succeeding, no wanting, no needing. She just left him reading and silently bleeding, and ended up leading the funeral proceeding, and now he's just feeding the worms underground. Shit happens. The end. Thank you.
Let me tell you about the daytimes, the night times, the fight times, and the flight times, the good times, the bad times, the glad times, the sad times, the true times, the two times, the old times, the new times, the fun times, and the dumb times of sometime Jones.